love it. I love it.
Hey, man. No. Every legend has its own theme music. Thanks for all you do, man. Thanks for serving and helping us with this series of just making this thing simplified. Okay, so hey, take it away, my friend.
Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Once again, it is always an honor to be on the platform and share the platform with you. And especially with you and Mr. Chairman Young, Mr. Andre Campbell, and all the other chairmen that are on this call, and all of the new students who are looking to learn how to trade the Forex market. It is definitely a skill to pay the bills. I think it is the last frontier, like I always say, for a lot of people. And I believe that the Forex market is really where we all want to be, because the stronger your skill is and your ability to trade, there is no cap on your money. So the better you get, the more money you can make. I know a lot of us, I know I did in the past, work jobs and had careers where it's like no matter how hard you work, that raise was 1.5% at the end of the year with everybody else, no matter if you outperform people. So I know some people feel me on that. I was in that position at one point in my life, and learning how to trade the Forex market really got me outside of that, to the point first where my job then became an extra revenue stream. And then I gained total freedom and flexibility through mastering the Forex market. So that's our goal, is to help people reach that ultimate freedom, to where there's no cap on your income, to where you have multiple revenue streams, whether it be through the marketing side, the trading side, and that you become that one-stop shop, that awesome professional Forex trader, and that entrepreneur, because we are really in an age of self-reliance. I know we're all watching the news, we know what's going on. And the thing is that these cycles happen every 8 to 10 years. So this is a skill that can help eliminate a lot of those woes. So I thank you for the theme music, Coach Young. I really appreciate it. I need it because this internet was beating me up tonight. So I logged on a few minutes late. So that really made my day. And I am going to go ahead and get right into it tonight, in regards to this scanner, because I definitely have a lot to cover. So let me share my screen here. Drop me a 1 in the chat if you are making some money with this Harmonic scanner based on the last 2 weeks and the information that we covered. Awesome. And do we have, before we really get going, do we have any questions as it relates to what we've covered over the last 2 weeks, as far as the swing lows and the swing highs, the trend lines, and our entry points? Any questions? Because we want to make sure that we get those answered throughout. If you have them, you can just put them in the chat. We'll make sure that we get those addressed. All right, so tonight we are going to have some fun, because now that we have started to gain an understanding of the scanner and how powerful it is and how it puts you in those high probability trade setups, we are going to delve into some really cool stuff like the Fibonacci sequence, now that we understand our highs and lows. So anybody in here want to learn about the Fibonacci sequence and how that works and start to get an understanding of it? Drop me a 2 in the chat. Awesome. I see that we want to talk about the swing highs and the swing lows again. We are definitely going to cover that because it all comes together. We will talk about trend lines as well. We're going to put a lot of things together tonight in the short time that we have. So let's just get right to it. All right. So now, we have right now what I'm looking at here, for those of you who may not know that are new, we have the I Am Master Academy Harmonic Scanner. And you can see right now, this is calling the Canadian dollar versus the Japanese yen. It is calling a sell. And you can see, easy way to remember, our entry point here, when it's the green entry point is at the top, it is a sell. And we have our stop loss here at the top, this red line protecting our downside. That is our stop loss. So anytime you see these 2 lines at the top, we are looking at a sell trade. So you can see here that this price right here at the D point made its U-turn just shy of the entry point, which is fine. And you can see here, since we have some questions about the trend lines, we'll mark it up real quick. And then, like always, we'll switch over to the Smart Trader chart, because we're going to talk about the Fibonacci sequence tonight. because that is how all of the harmonic patterns are derived, is from the Fibonacci sequence. So we'll start to gain an understanding of that. It's this chart here, like so. And you can see here, we'll take it from the second touch point and extend it up just like that. And you can see that what your trend lines are really are just diagonal forms of support and resistance. Now, if you're a super aggressive trader, right, you see how strong the momentum was to the upside. You can also come and you can draw you another trend line here, and you can see that you had your trend line break. So you've got an inner trend line, your inner, your outer, and your long-term trend line there. Okay. There we go. Now you can see how when this price reversed on this trade, you can see how just like regular horizontal support and resistance, it actually likes to break trend lines and retest them too. So you can see here that price came down, broke our trend line, retested, dropped to the next level. We know trend lines are important because it helps us determine what our entry points, the speed of the market, and where price can reverse, right? So we're talking about direction, right? So speed and momentum of the market, entry points, and direction, okay? So we now know that this price has decided to make a U-turn. We know that the bears at this price point decided to take over, and now price is being pushed down, and now you've got an all-out battle between the bulls and the bears here going on. So you draw trend lines from every swing low. Yep, that's a good way of putting it, Julia. You can look at it like that. That's why those swing lows are important, because your swing lows form your support and resistance levels, right? So you can see here, our first trend line was drawn from our C point out for our outer trend line. Here's another swing low. We went to the next touch, and then so on and so forth. It just takes a little bit of spatial intelligence. That's all, and repetition. Repetition is the mother of all skill. That was a great question. Yep. So here, right, and you can extend these up like this, straight through, just like that. Now we can see what's really going on in this market. And tonight we're going to talk about the Fibonacci sequence, okay? We'll begin with the end in mind, because you can see here that we have a wave that occurred. Can everybody see this here? Where price came down, broke these two trend lines, and now it created a wave retesting the backside of this trend line. Drop me a 3 if everybody understands that and can see that clearly. Awesome. See, when you mark your charts, right, when you frame out your charts, right, you have total clarity in the market. Total clarity. You can see everything that's going on. So where the Fibonacci sequence comes in is that these waves, right? So like we said on the first day, we have to come to the agreement that we all believe and understand that this market moves in waves, right? Can everybody see that, how that market is moving, waving up and down? No matter what direction it's going in, the market, unless it's some crazy powerful fundamental that happens, the market never just goes straight up and straight down. It never does, right? It never does. So you can see that a lot of people, especially when you get into trading and you may start out scalping like I did, you get into scalping, it's exciting. But you can see a lot of people would think that they've just completely missed this trade. They've completely missed this trade. And it's like, well, on to the next one. There's no way I can get in on this trade. But if you understand the Fibonacci sequence, there's a high probability chance that this trade is just getting started. So if you look here like this, and from the previous two trainings, if you understand your swing highs and your swing lows, you can see here at this D point, we have a what? A swing high, okay? And you can see down here, we now have what? A swing low. Very, very important. That's why I start out every class that I teach, I'm starting out with those swing highs and those swing lows, because those represent what? Those represent our U-turn points in the market, right? So we know the market is formed by swing highs and swing lows. We know that it's formed by waves, right? That creates the movements in the market. And because of that, our Fibonacci sequence measures those waves, like so, just like that. So while a lot of you think that you might have missed out on this trade, you really haven't missed out on this trade at all. Can everybody see my screen? Drop me a 4 in the chat if everybody on my screen is zoomed in enough to where you can see this. Okay, and if you're brand new and you're on here tonight, don't worry about it. We've got an entire academy, 100 through 400 level. We've got over 1,000 hours a month in Go Live TV, live trade room action with our traders, that you're going to see this stuff over and over and over again. All right, so don't worry about it. Plus, we record these, you can watch them over and over again. So now that we've all mastered these swing highs and these swing lows, now you can see how it comes together, because that swing high and that swing low in this example is our plot point, right, for our fib. Okay, so once you get a swing high and a swing low, right, in this example, the market has now made a 0 to 100% move. Now, if we agree, right, I say that again, now that we have a swing high and now that the market has a swing low, we have a 0 to 100% move. Okay, you see this here? All right, I want everybody to be clear on this. So now what we do is we extended that Fibonacci tool, right? So I'll do it again. So right now, you go here. Here's your Fibonacci tool icon. You go from the swing high to your swing low, because that's our what? Our 0 to 100% move. Remember that. Now, the market, if we believe that the market works in waves, the market is going to take back a percentage of that 0 to 100% move. So a lot of times, especially with new traders, they're like, man, I missed that move. It's over. But if you can see here, see where this blue wick is right here? The market has already taken back 61.8% of the 0 to 100% move, right? 0 to 100%, the market has now taken back 61.8% of that move. See? Very, 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 very simple. Swing high, a swing low, I drop my fib, right? And now it's taken back 61.8% of that move, okay? If everybody sees that, and even if you kind of understand that, don't worry about it, I'm taking you somewhere. Drop me a Y in the chat box. Got it. Okay. So the Fibonacci tool is an excellent tool, because in mathematics, we don't have a lot of time to go into it tonight, but it's all about the patterns, right? You can Google the Fibonacci sequence and you can see how awesome the Fibonacci sequence is, because trading is all about pattern recognition when you're doing the technical analysis. And we like to say that the Forex market does the same thing over and over and over and over again. Well, those moves and those waves can be measured, and they can put you in a prime position for really, really, really good top flight setups. And the main thing I want you to realize tonight is that when I switch over and we go to my other chart and we delve into this, the main reason I'm showing you guys this is not so you can master it tonight, not even tomorrow, so that I want you to look at this and start to understand this, so that you have even more confidence in the scanner, because anytime you have algorithms with just about any scanner on the planet, especially this one, is going to take into account the Fibonacci sequence. These harmonic patterns here, what determines what pattern it is? This is a crab pattern. You can see over here that you have a shark pattern, a bat pattern. What determines these patterns and these shapes in the market that form, that the scanner recognizes for us, so we don't have to do it, is all based on the Fibonacci sequence. See, if you take this fib from X to A, you can see that this market retraced 61.8%. So that forms one part of the pattern. Okay, so this is why we're going over this, not so you can master it, so that you can have even more confidence while you work to master it in the scanner and the software that is working for you. You know, when I first got into trading and I joined I Am Mastery, at first, just like a lot of people, I was just like, oh, I for some reason in people's mind, they get stuck and think like, oh my goodness, like I'm not, I want to learn how to trade on my own. Like I don't want anything to do anything for me, right? Has anybody felt like that? Drop me a 5 in the chat if you felt like that. That independence, right? Like, oh, I want to trade on my own. But then you start to do your research and you start to look at top flight hedge fund managers and traders, right, out of Manhattan. And then you look at our very own CEO, professional trader for over 30 years, Christopher Terry, who had this scanner designed for himself. So then I had to think to myself, if there's a professional trader that's saying, hey, I'm going to go get with a programmer, and have them program a software to think the way I think, so that an algorithm can constantly find setups for me in the market, who am I to not think that same way, right? It's a copycat league. So if a professional trader, if people that run hedge funds can use software and algorithms, or algos as they call them for short now, can use software, why can't I? And the thing is, it's not costing you thousands and thousands of dollars to have it. You get it at the cost of your subscription in your basic package, okay? So keep that in mind as we go through this tonight. So we can see here, now we've got a fib drawn. And when it hits one of those key levels, it provides a good setup for it. So let me switch over to the Smart Trader chart, and just remember the setup that we have here as we walk through our Fibonacci sequence, ladies and gentlemen. All right, okay. So let's go over here and let's talk about market movement. Okay. All right. Drop me a Y in the chat if you can see that I'm on the next chart. I want to make sure, my internet has been acting crazy all day, so I want to make sure that I'm not just talking and people don't see what I'm doing. Okay, cool. All right. So let's talk about this now. So our market that we play in, or really any market for that matter, but we're talking about the Forex market. The Forex market repeats itself over and over and over again, right? That's why we can make money on the way up. We can make money on the way down. We can even make money when the market moves sideways, believe it or not. And I really didn't truly understand that until I started to see the Fibonacci sequence at play. Okay, so it all starts with the market forming what we call our swing low. Okay, and we're going to do this in the uptrend first. Okay, and hang in there with me, and you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about once we get through this part. Okay. Somebody asked me what my favorite patterns are. I really don't have a particular pattern. I really just trade the setups. And you'll see why here as we go through this. So that's a good question. So I really don't pay attention to whether or not patterns, one outperforms the other. I'm looking for a particular setup based on the Fibonacci sequence and the extension levels, which I'm going to walk you through, you guys, some of these pretty cool secrets and tips here, and hopefully you guys have a few aha moments. So the market forms a low, And we're going to call this, right, our level of support, right? Drop me an S in the chat if everybody understands that this is going to be our level of support. All right. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to type in support, right? For some of our new folks, just in case we don't know. And then up here, we're going to call this our ceiling, right? If you jump real high, right, or you have a house with low ceilings, you could bump your head on the ceiling, and we're going to call that resistance. Okay, drop me an R in the chat if you understand that. There we go. So this is our resistance, our support, and our resistance. And I'm going to show you how this market does the same thing over and over and over again, right? And this will help you guys with your spatial intelligence, and you'll see through all the mess and all the noise on some of the lower time frames, and you'll ultimately see what the main movement is doing. So, okay, we've got support and we've got resistance. So what happens is we have as support what we call our A low, and then price works its way up and it hits a certain price point. In this case, it's 8207, and it forms a level of what? Resistance. Okay. And from that point at 8207, you have a high point, and all of a sudden this market starts to sell off. Profit starts to be taken. The bulls start to take over, right? It's always a game between the bulls and the bears, and then price goes down, it pulls back, right? The sell-off occurs, okay? Everybody follow me on this, okay? You can see, right? You can see that the wave is starting to happen. Now, if you remember when we were live on the scanner, right? Live on the scanner, click back, we were live on the scanner, okay? You see this to the downside. So now this wave occurs. So this is our point A. Like this. This is our point B, like this. This is our 0 to 100% move, right? Just like we saw on the scanner, all of a sudden now the market is going to take back. The bulls are going to come in and they're going to take back part of this, what we call this 0 to 100% move, okay? All right, everybody follow me, all right? Everybody gets this, drop me a 9 in the chat. You see this move here? You get it? Drop me a 9. Participate with me tonight because I want everybody to see this, right? This is going to strengthen your belief even more, right? With the harmonic scanner, because I want everybody to know that the harmonic scanner has your back, okay? So now what happens is we get that swing high, swing low, and we get that swing what? High. And that's when we typically see what? We typically see our 5 candle combination, right? We get our 5 candle combination at the high that looks like this, right? We're going to pull this together tonight, okay? All right, we get that 5 candle combination that forms, right? We got our 2 to the right, okay? And then we get our 2 to the left, like this, something like that. I'm not an artist, y'all. I left my art skills like back in the 7th grade, so forgive me. I'm definitely Stone Age when it comes to this stuff, right? So we know that we have our 5 candle combination. We got our center wick high. We got 2 candles to the left, 2 candles to the right. That's what's going to form our B high, right? And then if we come down, okay, at this level of support, typically you see it just in the opposite direction, right? You're going to see a low, right? Just like we drew it up on the chart, like this, okay, like that. That rectangle here, okay. And this is so powerful, and I hope, you know, everybody's been utilizing this and noticing this on the scanner and waiting on that trend line break before you get in a trade. And I hope that saved some people some drawdown and saved you guys from getting stopped out on some of those trades and really being able to take advantage of the good ones, right? So you can see there's that 5 candle combination, swing low, swing high. And this is what the foundation of your AB points are. And then guess what? price pulls back, when we get that swing low and we get that swing high, we can pull out that measuring stick that we call the Fibonacci tool. And bang, there we go. Just like that. Does everybody see that? Put a nice F for Fibonacci. If you see how I just pulled that from the low to the high. Good. We got some great students tonight, right? Lots of participation. Awesome. Awesome. Give and take, give and take. So now we can see here that price has pulled back, let's say to our 61.8, right? Everybody hear that? The golden ratio, right? You can look it up on YouTube, do all that good stuff on Google, right? But I'm gonna show you exactly why it's very, very powerful in the Forex market here. So we get it, this pullback, say, to the 61.8 level, okay? This is our retracement level. So the market, when it hits that level of resistance, if it doesn't break through, that market likes to either take back 23%, 38%, 50%, 61%, 78%, 86% of that 0 to 100% move. If price came all the way back down to this 8 boundary, then it has now taken back 100% of that move. And then if it holds, and then it reverses back up to the upside, that's what we call what? A double bottom, right? So everything starts to come together when you understand the Fibonacci sequence. All right, so here we go. Now, price has pulled back. And guess what happens when price, if it's gonna hold at one of these levels, in this example, the 61.8% level, if it's gonna hold, guess what's going to happen? It's gonna create what? Anybody tell me? Is it gonna create what? A swing low or a swing high? Somebody tell me. Put an L in the chat for low, a H in the chat for high. That's it. Somebody typed it out, swing low. There we go. Cool. So now you guys see why recognizing those swing lows and swing highs are so important. So typically what's gonna happen, especially if this level here, okay, forms in confluence. Now, you guys that have been there for a while, you understand that. And if it matches up with a previous level of support, right? When they tell you to look left on the chart, then those levels become very, 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 very strong, okay? So now we're sitting here at a 61.8 and a swing low forms. And then the market reacts and it starts to push us the other way like this, okay? It starts to push us up. It finally breaks this B boundary. And now we are on a run with price. The bulls have taken back over at this 61.8 level here. Or if you want to look at the price, 81.78 level, the bulls came back in and took over, meaning that price came back low enough, right? We love when things go on sale. We love it, right? We love it when a pair of shoes go on sale, clothes go on sale, right? It came now, is down, what, 61% off the price of this currency? I am buying. And they buy, and they buy, and they buy, and the rest of the market sentiment starts to buy, and it pushes it to an extension level. An extension level. Okay? Does everybody see that? And that is our A, B, C, D wave. So this here is our C. And this here is our D. So a lot of times I have people inbox me and they ask me like, well, how do you hold on to that trade so long? Because I understand the Fibonacci sequence, and now you guys do too. At least you're starting to understand why we can get in these trades and we can sit in these trades and we can set our projections off of this, okay? So look, A, B, C, D. If anybody watches the YouTube videos and things like that that I put out or put on my page, you understand that I'm always talking about that A, B, C, D wave. If anybody listens to the awesome rock star cryptocurrency extraordinary Curtis Cobain branch, we talk about what? That ABCD wave is very, 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 very important because you can really, really set yourself up for great, great trades based off of understanding this sequence. And I'm telling you again, our harmonic scanner does it all for you, because when that D point is hit, guess what? We're looking for that ABCD wave to go the other way, right? So, okay, now we've got this ABCD wave. So how can we possibly trade off of this, right? How can we possibly trade off of this? So first, let's look here. We talk about, right, last couple of weeks, we talk about risk to reward. One of the reasons why I like to utilize the Fibonacci sequence is because it can set us up for a beautiful risk to reward ratio, right? That's very, 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 very important. Meaning that if I'm risking $20, if it's a 3-to-1 scenario, I want to be going for what? $60, right? So if for every $20 I risk, I gain 60, right? We would take that to the bank, right? We would take that to the bank every single time. Okay, so that's what we like to do. That's what the scanner actually sets up for you. Think about that, guys. Come on now, that's awesome. That's awesome. So how we would set a trade up off of this is like this. We say we want to put our entry deep in our retracement zone. Okay, and if anybody doesn't understand, this is a retracement, or what we call a pullback. Okay, price retraces or pulls back, right? Depending on which playbook you're playing from, the terminology could be different. And then this is an extension, okay? So let's look at this. Oops. Let's look at this here. Just delete it. So we can set a trade up like this, all right? Switch this out. This green entry point like this dashed dotted line is going to be our entry right at a 61.8 level. And we're going to take this blue dotted line here, okay? And we're going to put it at this extension level here for our take profit. And then what we're going to do is we will put our stop loss like this. And I want you to think about this, because doesn't our harmonic scanner give you an entry, a stop loss at different take profit levels? Yes or yes? Yes, absolutely it does. Because there's 3 things we got to know in the Forex market to help us be successful besides trade psychology. Is we've got to know our direction, we've got to know where to get in, and we've got to know where to get out. If you can figure that out along with proper risk management and control your emotions, and with our harmonic scanner, you can make yourself really, really good money in this Forex market. Because our harmonic scanner, if everybody on here agrees that has used the harmonic scanner, does the harmonic scanner give you direction? Does it tell you where to get in? And does it tell you where to get out? Drop me a Y if you agree. Yep. And again, I tell you this so you can build and have the ultimate confidence in that scanner while you learn all of these cool techniques. Okay. So now we talk about risk to reward, right? The reason why we like taking trades at these deep levels, 61.8 to 50%, our 786, 86, is because look at this. Let's do the visual. Let's do a visual. Here's our entry at this green line. Here's our stop below this A point. Okay. Now look. At my reward. Okay. All right. Somewhere around there. You see that? Look, I'm risking 20 pips to gain, in this case, 50 pips, right? You move it to the 61.8, 55 pips. So we're almost at that 3-to-1, right? Drop me an A for awesome if you think that's pretty cool. Because if you think that's pretty cool, then you have to believe that our harmonic scanner is really, really cool. Because all it is that I just went over is already built into the system, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Already built into the system. It's doing this for you every time, every setup, right? It's putting that stop loss in the area to protect your downside, right? Because everybody always say that to me. Oh my goodness, right? That's a successful trade, but what about if you lose? Well, part of trading is that you're never going to win 100% of your trades. But if you're constantly, and the scanner is constantly putting you in 2-to-1, 3-to-1, sometimes 4-to-1 risk to reward ratios, You never have to win every trade. Trading is not about win percentage. We like to have a good win percentage, but if you constantly are put in great risk to reward ratios, you're going to take money home without having to win the majority of those trades. Even though we know, right, through our data that the harmonic scanner has a more than positive expectancy. So that's really awesome, right? So it just shows you the convenience, right? Just shows you the convenience. We wouldn't think, if we didn't have a remote to these smart TVs, we wouldn't think that that TV was so cool if we had to get up and go press the button to press the screen every single time, would we? See, the harmonic scanner is that remote control. It's giving you the setups. It's giving you the setups, right? Greed is what gets people most of the time when they're using the harmonic scanner. They're over leveraged and they're getting beat. I'm telling you, don't do that, right? Remember our chart, you only need a minimum. You get 100 pips a week, you can make a fortune in the Forex market. You can grow a small account, you can turn it into a big account, right? Disclaimer, disclaimer, all that other good stuff. Past results don't need to equal future returns or future gains. But so this is our setup, right? So look at that risk to reward. Now, if that trade drops deeper into the zone, okay, if the trade drops deeper into the zone, like this, to a 786 level, okay? And I'll show you how to project this here in a minute and how the scanner projects, right? So if we go down to this blue level, then we expect a blue level extension, right? So if we just color code this tonight and think of the colors, blue to blue, then look at my risk to reward, right? Look at this. I mean, it's fascinating. Here's my risk, okay? I'm like a Forex nerd, you guys. So if you guys don't think this is as cool as I do, I'm sorry. I just get excited when I see this type of stuff because this is life changing, right? This is the type of stuff that sets you financially free. This is stuff that you can teach your children and build a legacy, right? You can't pass your job, you can't pass your hustle on to your kids, but you can pass this on, all right? So here we go. So look at that, right? Look at that, right? So that's why the Fibonacci sequence is so powerful. That's why it's built into a lot of algorithms, everybody, because the Forex market is about patterns, right? And those patterns are repeatable. So here's what's cool. We look at these levels in the Forex market. Hold on one second. Let me slow down. How do you determine an entry before entering in trade? We base that entry, right? So you go to your IM Academy, right? You go through your levels, right? You learn about support and resistance. You learn about structure. And then the fib is just an extra confluence on top of it. Now, the way I set it up and the way I trade is that whenever I get a setup like this, I'm automatically looking to enter that 786 level. And because I know that there's a high probability chance of a reversal and my risk to reward at that point is stellar. So the deeper the retracement, the better the risk to reward setup. Okay, because I want to keep my stop loss outside this A boundary or what, this swing low. We want to keep it below this swing low. So if you were just a structured trader, right, trading structure, you would put your stop loss below the low. Okay, now some people, they'll work their risk to reward even better and they'll put it below the C point, this low. Okay, that's a very, very tight stop. It doesn't give you a lot of room to breathe. And what happens is a lot of times is you get stopped out. How many people have been trading for some time and they put a real tight stop and then they get stopped out and they think they're getting stop hunted and then the trade turns around and goes your way? Drop, drop me a 1 in the chat if that's happened to you before. Right? And a lot of times that happens because we are over leveraged and we don't want to see that drawdown and we don't want to let our trade breathe, right? So we know that statistically, anytime, once you have a boundary that forms, you put your stop in between that AB boundary, there's a high probability chance you're going to get stopped out. Because what happens is this, you say, all right, oh, it looks like price is at structure. And let me get this out of here. Looks like price is at structure. And I'm going to put my stop right below this point here. And then price comes deeper like this, bang, stops you out. And then you're like, oh my goodness, it's at a 61.8 or it's at another level of support. I'm gonna get back in on this trade. And then bang, it stops you out. Boop. Sorry. And then you're like, oh, this is a scam. The world hates me. The banks and the hedge funds, they see my $2 a pip. They see exactly where I got that trade at. Out of all the money in the world, 6.3 trillion traded daily, they see my $2 and they took my money. And that's what we think, right? That's what I used to think too. Okay. What you have to do is utilize Go Live TV, educate yourself, take advantage of the education, right? We're at Forex Education and Software Company, best there is. And you have to learn because the learning gives you the confidence, right? So we keep our A below this low. And you might say in some trades, man, that's a nice wide stop loss. Lower your stops, lower your lot size. I don't know what else to tell you. But if you want to get stopped out continuously, keep doing what you're doing. Otherwise, listen to what I'm trying to tell you tonight because it's very, very important. So what I'm doing is I either look to get in at these key levels with buy limits. In this example, a buy limit, and I'll just set it up, set my stop loss, set my take profit, and then I'll go to the grocery store or take my kids on a bike ride, okay? And I'll let the market do what it do because I already know that if I get stopped out, it's 1 to 2% of my account anyway, I'm good. At 1%, I had to lose 100 trades in a row to blow my account. At 2%, 50 trades. At 3%, 33 trades in a row to blow my account. You got to know your numbers, just like anything else. You got to know your numbers. Now, if you're trading 10%, 15% of your account, I don't know what to tell you, right? You heard it here. Don't do
Listen, man, I got to.
Yep. You there? Did we lose Lawrence?
So I got a $500 account. I'm doing a 3.00 lot size.
Good night. Good night. Don't email support on that. There's nothing they can do for you.
That's what people do. It's crazy.
Yeah, all day. And you know, we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks how many trades the scanner is giving you per week. It's working when you're sleeping. It's working when you're sleeping. So there's no need to do that. There's no need to do that. I know what the YouTube videos say. I know what the so-called gurus say. But you know what? They're not working with a system like this. They got to get up, click on their computer, and they got to scan these charts religiously to try to find ideal setups. It's hard to be consistent. And that takes a lot of work, a lot of prep, okay? And some people never get it. We're compressing time frames for all of you here. Please understand that. But it's up to you to get in that back office and go through that academy. Don't skip the lessons. Don't fast forward through them just so you can get a ribbon. Do the work. Do the work. Utilize the scanner, right? This is an investment in yourself. This is, to me, the best college degree that you can have. I got 2 of them. And I know for a fact that this is the best degree that you can have. Now, that's my opinion, right? But this pays. This pays to infinity and beyond if you can master this skill set. So that's how you can enter. Now, what you could do is, I like to limit in, go about my business. But what you can also do is when these trades get to this level, okay, which is what have we been talking about the last 2 weeks, right? We've been talking about what? Trend line breaks. You can wait for the trade to get to a certain level and wait for a trend line break to occur. Is this not what we see with the scanner? Don't we see that when price comes down and it hits a certain area and you get that scan and it says enter here, stop there, TP here? Everybody's seeing this now? Is everybody starting to put this together? Drop me a Y in the chat if you're starting to see this, because I'm walking you backwards into the mind of the scanner, and I hope you see this. Awesome, right? So look, buy, entry here, green line, stop loss, red line, TP, and it'll give you 3. So you might get a TP here at the boundary, right? It'll give you the TP at the different fib levels when they're created, right? We should be gaining confidence in this scanner if we don't have the utmost confidence already, because it's working for you. It's doing the work for you. Okay. So this is one area where the scanner finds these setups for you. Okay. So now, look, let's take a look. We see this. Everybody see this, right? Everybody see this? Everybody see this here? Think about this. This is going the opposite way. So everybody see that there? If that price is meant to reverse and go to that TP1, it's going to break trend line and continue down. A, B, C, D. The market does the same thing over and over again. Okay, so that's one of the sweet spots where that scanner finds you setups. Okay, I'm gonna clear this out because we did our little risk to reward lesson. Told you, man, we got a lot to cover tonight. Watch the replay. If you're new, don't worry about it. Right? You got 1 through 400. Go live TV. I cannot say that enough. So look, now, once this D point completes, so we've got our A, B, C, and D. Okay. This C to D move right here, which you'll learn how to trade that and go live TV. 53 pips, like we said, right? That was a beautiful setup, right? Hypothetical. Now, what happens once that ABCD pattern completes? What do we say? The market repeats itself. So this was support, this was resistance. When it gets to this D point, at some point it exhausts itself. And there's times where it'll keep going and keep going up, keep going up, keep going up, keep going up. Is that familiar? Right? And I'm telling you this why? Because we established over the last 2 weeks that we want that price to preferably hit what? Entry. We want it to exhaust itself, because when price exhausts itself, it forms a what? Swing high, right? You're going to see this at entry. That swing high combination. We're going to see this combination, right? We're going to put it all together, all together. Now we've got this D point that's been hit. A swing high forms. And guess what's going to happen? This A, B, C, D wave starts all over again. And this is what I mean by this. Our A, follow me now. Our C is going to become our new A, because our C is a what? Swing low. Our D, once it hits the extension, and sometimes it'll form it right at the extension if it comes in confluence with another level of support. I mean, of resistance, maybe not. But once we see that swing high, our D becomes our new what? B. And then guess what? We're looking for our C. And then we're looking for another D. Like this. See, sometimes it's right on the money. Past resistance becomes future what? Support. And then look, our D. Okay? So let's rewind it. This ABCD completion has finished. Our C becomes our new A. Our D becomes our new B. Now watch how cold the scanner is. When this D point is hit, get this out of here. We're gonna rewind it. This is how amazing our scanner is. When this D point is hit and it's starting to exhaust itself, it's gonna give you what? A signal. And it's gonna say, hey, Benny, based on past historical data, like Coach Young did a great job explaining during the presentation today, because the scanner uses past historical data 20, 30 years back or whatever it is. It's going to say, hey, Benny, this has exhausted. And not only that, this is a potential past level of resistance. You should think about entering right here. Do we not see that on the scanner? Right? Let me find one. Where's one that's, look. Bang. Look. A, B, C, D. Our C becomes our new A. Our D becomes our new B. And the scanner is alerting you that there is a what? Retracement, a pullback, a correction coming in the market. How amazing is that, ladies and gentlemen? How amazing is that, right? So it's saying, hey, man, we got a D extension that got hit. We're going to wait for that swing high to form. And this market that we're giving you is we're going to say, get in this trade and trade this correction or this retracement. Because what? Our old C became our new A. Our old D became our new B. And guess what? You have a new Fibonacci sequence occurring. And we're going to tell you where to get in. We're going to tell you where to protect your backside. Somewhere around these levels here. Sometimes they'll put it right there. And then we're going to give you the take profit levels at the new Fibonacci sequence levels. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. We're going to give you, here's your new take profit levels right here. Take profit 1 is always at a 382. Take profit 2 is always at a 61.8. And take profit 3 is always at the bottom of the new A boundary. This, get this out of here, clean this out. This is amazing. The scanner, now we can get rid of some of this crazy stuff here and just see it clean. Now I have a new AB boundary, a new scanner signal, stop loss, entry, and take profits. And we're going to trade this correction. Take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. And we have a rule. As long as price doesn't take out the A, it's going to go our way. So if price comes down and takes out this level here, this TP3, then we've got a full trend reversal. Up until that point, we're trading the pullback, the correction, right? Do people see that? My experienced traders, I know if you're new, it's probably like, what, dude? Does everybody see this? Awesome. This is what the game is, because the market does the same thing over and over again. And if it finds that later on this pair exhausts, and historical data says that this level here, right, is a U-turn point, the scanner will say, hey, Benny, look to enter here. Here's your protection to your backside. Here is the fib. Historical data shows that this now is a level of what? Support. And here are your new take profit levels. 38.2, 61.8, and the top of your boundary. Over and over and over again. This is what the scanner is finding for you. So let's take a look at this, right? You don't have to do all of that work. You don't have to be me. We're compressing time frames for you. Look. hey, Benny, here's a level, a D point. You might want to enter in this range, right? You might want to enter CAD yen, which we covered, Euro USD, right? This is what it's trying to tell you. Is it always 100% spot on? No. But what we'll do is we'll work and we'll go deeper into this Fibonacci sequence, and you'll be able to tell when it's going to make that U-turn prior to that entry. Once you spend your time and go live TV and you do all of that stuff, you will start to learn it and you will get it. But what I'm telling you is for right now, you don't even have to worry about it because the scanner is doing it for you. So if you go, let me see here. It's starting to catch itself up. So it took out some of the other trades. Might be. Oh, you can't hear. I'm sorry. Guys, sorry about that. This is the pound dollar. I mean the pound CAD, right? Let me go back. Here's the entry. Here's your D point, right? Here's your D point. Price is exhausted. It hit an extension. We expect what? Price to reverse. Your C becomes your new A. Your D becomes your new B. TP1, TP2, TP3. It's hard to be a sound, solid, time-tested, proven algorithm that can make your life a lot easier, a lot more convenient, and make you a lot of money. No, machines aren't always accurate. You're right. But that's where your education comes in. Over 1,000 hours of Go Live TV a month, 100 through 400 level. Nope, they're not always accurate. They're not always accurate. But like we covered, do you always have to be accurate to make money in the Forex market? No. If you're putting yourself in 3-to-1 risk to reward ratios, 2-to-1. If you're 3-to-1, if you go 3 for 10 in baseball for a decade, you're a 300 hitter. You probably might be a first ballot Hall of Fame, still a couple bases, win a couple gold gloves. That's 3 for 10. Our scanner does better than 3 for 10. So no, machines aren't always accurate. I'm not either, because they call us humans. We're not perfect. No algorithm is perfect. But I tell you what, I got one hell of an edge in this market because of this scanner. Period, point blank, facts. That's it. So that's the Fibonacci sequence. That's how it works. That's how it works. And no, it's not always accurate. Nothing's 100%. That's why we use proper risk management, right? That's why we don't have a $500 account, like Coach Young said, and we put 3 standards on the table. We live in Detroit, Michigan. You can give me your money. I got plenty of casinos around here I can go to and do that. We trade. We're not here to gamble. We're here to change lives. That's what we do. We educate, we empower, and we enrich the lives of those who we come in contact with. That's what this is all about. And that's the Fibonacci sequence. So you can see here.
Hey, Benny.
Yes, sir.
Just so you know, man, you're putting this whole call and this training, man, you're putting it in a body bag.
I appreciate it, Coach Young. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm passionate about it. I believe, because I know I've been trading for a long time. I'm not exaggerating, because I'm a trade junkie. I love it because I know how it can change people's lives. Are learning this skill. So I do what every great entrepreneur does, right? I want to see the process in the system. So I've been in other professional trader trade rooms. I know there's weeks in those trade rooms that people pay a lot of money just to be in their trade room. I know there's weeks where they can't bag 100 pips. They can't do it. They can't do it. And then when they do it, they can't do it consistently. So I know how powerful this tool is, but you have to do your part. You have to do your part. The system only works if you do. It only works if you do. Trading is not something that you're just gonna try. It's something that we do. And that's with any endeavor in life. Everything worthwhile is uphill. Everything. Everything. So if you want it, you're going to have to fight for it. All I'm telling you is that you got some tools, and this is not the only one by far on our platform. You got some tools, and you got a whole lot of people that's here to support you. A whole lot of people. But you got to do your part. You need help. You got to reach out. You got to get through that academy. You got to work hard. You got to take notes. You got to absorb it. There's going to be times where you can't watch Netflix. You can't do those things. You can't do it. You're going to have to sit in front of this computer. You're going to learn. Right? And if you do what is easy, right? We all know life's going to be hard, but if you do what is hard, life is going to be easy. We know that. So do it. And that's all. I want to know what questions do we have, Mr. Young? We have a lot of questions in the chat.
Jamal, the call is being recorded. I'll make sure we get that out. We get it loaded on the YouTube next day or two. It'll be up.
Mm-hmm.
Posted the series 1 and 2 that we did the last 2 weeks. So make sure you guys copy that in the chat. And as soon as I get part 3, I'll put everything in one text with series 1, 2, and 3. And hopefully, Benny, if you don't mind, getting on next Tuesday as well, that we release 4 straight weeks of just some solid stuff. And we really definitely appreciate you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, throw some fire emojis in the chat, for Benny. We know it's a Tuesday night. You can be doing other things, and I get prepared for tomorrow. But drop some fire emojis in the chat and some 7s in the chat for Benny Allen for just basically breaking it down. Like, he really just reverse engineered the scanner tonight. He reverse engineered the scanner. Yeah, man, you even got the Oracles giving you props. You got Curtis Cobain Branch on the call.
Yeah, my man. I remember me and him used to team up. You remember, Coach Young, when this was all just starting?
Where's Kurt at? Hold on a second. Kurt. There he is. Hold on, let me bring on the Oracle right here.
You're welcome, everybody.
Hey, Kurt, man, did he body this call or what?
Man, listen, he nailed this sound like a split hog. Benny's always been a beast, though. Like, little known fact, when I taught my first class, Benny was there. I had to emulate Benny's style. So a lot of my teaching style comes from him. When I first started, Lauren put me in the front, was like, you want to teach so bad? There you go. I was like, oh,
did.
okay.
He did. He did.
Right out there. But I loved every. I ate that spotlight up with a big old spoon. Yeah, Benny is an absolute monster, man. Like this brother here, I'm telling you, like the stuff he was breaking down with the scanner, the way he took time to show you every time we're done with one pattern, we may be lining up for a next and using historical data to give yourself an edge on top of what the scanner's already doing. And I love the fact that he's letting you guys know, like, this isn't the end all be all. You have to continue educating yourself and continue diving in deep. But once you get a good grasp on fibs, this is the natural progression of it. Like, and I didn't know that. Like, you know, the funny thing too, my first meeting when I went to my first IML presentation, Benny was there and he said fibs to me, and I was like, I can't even spell that, bro. I'm not about to learn that stuff. Like my first day, he was like, you gotta learn fibs, man. I'm telling you. And I kind of was like, whatever. And I doubled back and finally learned it. And I gave Benny all the props. Like, bro, you was trying to get me together day one.
Yep, so, yeah. And you done moved beyond now. You the crypto extraordinaire. Stop every. He done took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah,
whole nother level, man.
That's what this education to do for you. That's what it do for you. Like you start off with one goal, and all of a sudden you like, oh, that was easy. I can do that again. And you looking at everything like I can knock that out. I can knock that out. But yeah, it's the community. I think is the one thing that we're really underselling it. Like the community is huge here. Like rich girls trade, rich guys trade, team take off, team take pro. Like everybody's scratching and clawing to help you. Yep. Like that's one of the things I've noticed, man. Like I get so many inboxes from Andre Campbell and Lawrence and even Benny just hits me up. It's like, bruh, you see that trade on UCAD? I'm like, you already know. We see the screenshots back and forth. But the amount of like camaraderie here is crazy because without, you know, a team, trading could be a real lonely sport, man. And when you got that team that's helping you out step by step, if you got a little bit of issues here and there, and even with the psychology part, I think that's one of Benny's biggest things. Like he gets you together with the psychology because most of us from the neck up, right? You can lift weights all you want to, you can still blow an account. But when you got the neck up going good, everything else flows from there, man. Like I tell everybody, we are really underselling the community here because it's beautiful. It's beautiful here. I've seen some teams, y'all, where they can't even put a pip together for you. They can't even explain. They can't even spell pip, and they try to get you to look at the chart. I've seen some chat rooms, man, where these people are trying to get you going, and it's like, okay, well, what do I do here, and what's the risk management for this position? I'll be right back, and all of a sudden you see the what is it? Technical difficulty sound pop up on the screen.
Yeah. Christy Holiday, I see your message. Yep, you are brand new. Don't worry about it. We all were clueless at one point. We got really advanced tonight, but that's the beauty of the I Am Master Academy is that it's gonna start you out at that 100 level. You're gonna be able to get on Go Live TV. You're gonna be able to communicate in the chats live, and you know what? It will all make sense to you. And I like what you said, but I am ready because it's an awesome opportunity. Awesome opportunity. So yeah, it all came straight out of a fire hose, you know, and we always take that into account before we get on one of these trainings that we always like. That's why we started out on the first day real basic, you know, and then we moved into some different things tonight. But listen, stick with it. It is worth it. Like I say, everything worthwhile is uphill, and get on those leadership calls and things like that. Like I am a trader through and through, but I get on Coach Young's calls, Andre Campbell. Man, I look at Andre's timeline for that motivation. I get on those Sunday calls, right? Bob Proctor, because you know, like Curtis said, this is mainly from the neck up. It is all psychology. That's why this company is so amazing, because the two, you might not realize it when you're just starting, but the two go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other, right? Yes, it is about leadership, even if you're a trader, because the number one person that you're ever going to lead in your life is yourself.
Yep.
Right. So you have to have a leadership component as a trader. Mindset is everything. Yep.
Andre calls out some really solid trades for the team. I mean, he literally has everybody eating, and I'm sitting there watching him nod his head, and he's like, man, this is some amazing stuff. But hey, Andre, what do you feel about the training with this scanner training we've been doing?
Hey everybody, listen, I'm just a student always. I'm taking it in, I'm learning, I'm taking notes. And as Benny said, that's how we all got here, you know? And if you're on this call, hey, listen, at one time, it was all hieroglyphics to me also, all of us, you know? Don't try to think you have to understand everything tonight. Plug in, you got great leadership all around you. Curtis Cobain branch, the guru, Benny, Lawrence Young. I see Mr. Jonathan King right there, trade extraordinaire. We have so many people who are just taking this information, changing lives, and we're getting better and better every day. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, life changes. All I can say, I believe this is the #1 income education skill in the world. And this is one thing I also want to share. Remember, everybody in this call, you're here because someone thought enough of you to invite you to get the information. Mr. Lawrence Young, he's the one that gave me the call. If he didn't give me the call, I wouldn't be here. So share the information. Sharing is caring. Back to you, Coach.
There you have it,
Great
man.
training, Benny. Great training, brother. Great
Thank you.
Great training.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Thank
Great
you.
training, brother.
Benny, man, we give you big props, man. Appreciate you for jumping on. I know you got family to take care of, but you're doing this out the goodness of your heart. Kurt, serving like no other, man. Thanks for jumping on, Kurt, man. You guys, I call you the Oracle. And all the people that came tonight, it was just hungry for the info, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be hungry. Just like Les Brown said, you got to be hungry for this information. And even though the young lady said she didn't understand everything, that's okay. You're going to start training your eyes to be able to see this stuff and prepare your mind to so it just become like, it becomes second nature to you. But initially, in anything you do, you're going to be bad before you're good and good before you're great, okay? That's why practicing in a demo account is so essential. Don't feel like you need to rush, put money in an account, start trading because the market's not going anywhere. Feel comfortable first. Lose money in your demo account. Play around with lot size. Play around with strategies. Play around with the currency pair you like. I see Jonathan like, yeah, he rolled his eyes. Yep. But you got to practice enough until you feel comfortable trading real money, because when you rush the process, it's like a butterfly trying to bypass a cocoon process. You got to go through it, man. You got to go through it in order for it to come out right. So don't feel like you need to rush and collapse time. These products aren't going anywhere. The leadership's not going anywhere. The market's not going anywhere. You just do it at your own pace. But remember, it was meant to be is up to you, right? So it's the old saying, was meant to be is up to me. Take the time to learn, rewatch, review, relearn the series we're going to put up. Watch the last 2 videos. I'll post the 3rd one. It'll be up in a day or 2 once timer gets to it. And man, let's sharpen the axe. Let's continue to go, man. So we definitely appreciate you. And Benny, you came with the eye of the tiger tonight, man. You came with the eye of the tiger tonight. And we're going to be on again next Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern time, man. But we just want to pay homage to my man right there. Let's get Benny there. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. Let's throw some stuff in the chat, Benny, y'all. Let's throw some stuff in the chat.
Hey, Curtis, tell everybody where your session is, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell them, Curtis. Tell them.
If you guys want to catch me on the Go Live platform, I'm on the D-Spec package. You guys can catch me on Wednesdays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm breaking down cryptocurrencies. I show you how to set up your wallet. I show you how to get involved with it on Coinbase. I show you how to keep yourself safe, teach you about public keys, private keys, and I promise you, Lawrence will be there DJing.
Follow this man.
J-L-Y.
It's Big L. Big L. Hey, man, let's go make dreams come true. All right, let's go.
Sure.